Good afternoon. I'm 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. The National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory. I'll tell you what that means for your morning commute tomorrow, coming up.
Also, first at 4, a local district faces a big restructuring that includes closing some schools. Parents have a chance to ask questions tonight, and Bernie is live for us covering Michigan football. Bernie.
National championship tonight, Karen. Michigan against the University of Washington. Michigan favored by 5.5. We'll tell you all about it coming up.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4. We've escaped the wrath of winter for weeks now, but that could change overnight and impact your morning drive. Here is a live look at the Detroit riverfront right now. It's quiet this afternoon, but a winter weather advisory goes into effect 12 hours from now. Forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams is standing by with her first look ahead. Kim, what's in store?
Well, you know, this wouldn't be as big of a deal if it didn't hit right during the morning commute. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow, as we expected. Winter weather advisory has been issued for all of southeast lower Michigan from 4 a.m. until 11 a.m. Tuesday. So right during the heart of the morning commute, we'll get a very wet and heavy snow, could total up to a few inches. And then in the afternoon, all of it washes away with some heavy rain. Right now, if you don't like driving in rain and snow, you've got a few hours to get out and get things done, as it will be dry for the rest of the evening. Detroit's at 34, Howell 33, 35 in Pontiac, and low 30s in Adrian. Clouds and radar dry here now, but here comes that snow down to our southwest and some rain. We'll talk more about the timing of it coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Kim. Our other big story, we're just hours away from the national championship game for college football. University of Michigan fans have got to be really excited. Here's a quick look at the countdown clock right now. The Wolverines face off against the Washington Huskies at 7:30 tonight. Both are putting their perfect seasons on the line. The big game is in Houston, Texas, which is getting some nasty weather of its own right now. Let's take a live look. Luckily, of course, Houston's NRG Stadium is an indoor venue, so the weather won't be a factor during the game. Bernie Smilovitz is inside the stadium to set the scene for the biggest college game of the year. So tell us about the vibe and how things look right now, Bernie.
This is going to really get vibing up here shortly because the place is empty now. They're just playing music, but there's a lot of media. The marching bands of both teams are here, and soon they'll start letting the fans in, and that's when this place will start rocking. National championship tonight. They'll kick off at 7:45. Michigan 5.5-point favorites, as I said earlier, over the University of Washington. Both teams are 14-0. Great matchup, two great teams, the two best teams in college football, so this should be a terrific evening. Karen?
Not sure if you can hear me, Bernie. Obviously, you know, they come in with these two strong records. Everyone's looking at their quarterbacks, obviously, to see how they're going to pull this through. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Michael Penix for the University of Washington is a terrific quarterback. He'll be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. Used to play at Indiana and then transferred over to Washington for this year, and he has led them to this game. He is terrific. For Michigan, J.J. McCarthy has also been terrific. A big part for J.J. McCarthy is his running attack and his legs, and he's able to keep drives alive for Michigan. So quarterbacks will play a huge role here tonight, and the defenses will play a huge role. Which defense can shut down the other team's quarterback, that will be a huge key.
I know you've been there for a bit. Talk to me about fans. Are we seeing a wave of blue, or what are we seeing out there in terms of who's showing up?
Maize and blue everywhere. I don't see as many Washington people here, but we were at the team hotel this morning, and there is a boatload, and I do mean a boatload of fans that are just outside milling around. Wherever you go in the town, you see the Block M on everyone's hat or on their shirts. So, yeah, Michigan well represented. They travel really well also. You saw the Rose Bowl last week. They had a tremendous contingent out there, so I'm expecting the same thing here tonight. Ticket prices very steep, extremely heavy if you want to get into to see this thing, but I think Michigan fans will pay whatever it takes to be a part of this.
They sure will. All right, Bernie, we appreciate it. We'll check back with you a little bit later. Our coverage continues beyond 5 and 6. Bernie will be back again with Hobie Artigue for our special pre-game show live from Houston. Chase for the championship will include player interviews and also those super fan stories you don't want to miss. The special kicks off at 6:30 tonight. Of course, Michigan football isn't the only big sports story in town. The Detroit Lions will be hosting a playoff game in just 6 days. To mark the occasion, the city has decked out the spirit of Detroit in a Lions jersey. Detroit will play the Los Angeles Rams Sunday night at Ford Field. It is the first playoff game at that stadium and brings the return of former Lion Matthew Stafford, now the quarterback for the Rams. You can watch the game right here on Local 4 next Sunday night. In other news, the Taylor School District will be focusing on a really big restructuring plan that's going to go on tonight at a special meeting after announcing plans for some schools to close. Last month, the board revealed severe budget issues that it blamed on the previous administration. Also laid out a series of proposals to solve the problem, including closing Eureka Heights Elementary School at the end of the current school year. A series of wider changes will also involve shifting school boundary lines. The community can ask questions tonight at the Taylor Board of Education on Northline Road in person or via Zoom. The meeting starts at 6 o'clock. Late today, we received a sad update on the shooting of an 11-year-old boy on Detroit's east side. Detroit police just telling us the child has died after being shot in what appears to be totally random gunfire. Happened over on Beaconsfield about 7:30 Sunday evening. Told a group of kids were outside just roller skating. Police say people in a vehicle drove past those children, stopped, and opened fire on them. Police say the children had no interaction with those in the vehicle. That 11-year-old that was hit. Police are now asking for the public's help to find those responsible. If you can help in this case, please give them a call. Deadly fire is under investigation this afternoon over in Ann Arbor. So far, authorities are not sharing much information. We are told the fire broke out at Baker Commons over on Packard. The flames were spotted on the second floor shortly after 2 o'clock this morning. Officials on the scene tell us a woman died, but her age isn't known. We're monitoring the investigation, and we'll bring you updates as we learn more. So some new evidence has been found in that airplane blowout that terrified passengers on board an Alaskan Airlines flight that still managed to land safely. Meantime, the FAA says Boeing's 737 MAX 9 will remain grounded. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the latest on the investigation. Kim?
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. For anybody who flies, this kind of story might really make you a bit nervous. By now, you've probably heard about the door plug that blew off the side of an Alaska Airlines jet at 16,000 feet. This happened back on Friday. This morning, we learned part of the plane was recovered. A teacher in Portland, Oregon, contacted the NTSB after he found the wreckage in his backyard. The plane was flying from Portland to California when the plug blew out, causing oxygen masks to deploy and sucking headrests and other items through that hole. Several guests on the plane were injured but have been cleared after receiving medical attention. Investigators have revealed some of the critical cockpit audio recordings have been lost because of a device setting. We've also learned this particular plane had a pressurization warning light come on 3 times in the past month and was not allowed to fly to Hawaii in case it needed to land quickly. It's not clear if the incidents are related. Meanwhile, passengers continue to share their stories, some of them with NBC Nightly News.
Yeah, those first few moments were disorienting, alarming, terrifying. And then the moments that followed, that kind of pressure and anxiety and those fears kind of bubbled up even more. I was starting to text my girlfriend, my mom, my other loved ones, and didn't know if I was going to make it on the other side.
How scary. Luckily, the 2 seats right next to that door plug where it happened, those 2 seats happened to be empty during all of this, but each seat had their headrests torn off and the back of one seat is completely gone. The crew is being credited with their incredible actions to land the plane safety. Karen, we'll keep you posted as the investigation continues.
What a story. All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.